mate, and I use a cricket ball, mate, from the bottom of my foot and just silly things like that, just to literally flush all the lactic acid out and just make sure you hydrate well and eat good after, mate. That's all my input is. But yeah, other than what Joe said, mate, just a few little pointers there.
There's another analogy that I use for the warm down as well. Is that some engines with turbos on them, they need to be let idle before you turn them off. I know that you would understand that, Connor, because you work with engines. So your body is like that. So once you rev it up, you need to let it idle basically. So, and also all that walking, all that gentle movement that you do afterwards, that all counts towards NEAT anyway. So you're all just burning calories. So it's like a double whammy. So try that, and then also with the recovery with nutrition, if you slam in a load of simple carbs after a run, your muscles, after you use them, your muscles are like, fuel please. And then if you give it like a bowl of Cocoa Pops, for example, your body is like, Roger, I don't have to digest that because it's already pre-digested in the factory that it's just come from, and it goes straight into your muscles. And then your muscles are like, oh, thank you. And then that's like aid in recovery, basically. But don't deep that too much, because that's like next level. But yeah, good question, mate. Thank you. Anything else?
So, I don't know what it is nowadays, but I went boxing a couple of weeks ago. Stopped doing that now, but my left arm is constantly painful, and I've rested it, I've trained it, I've rested it, and it's still oddly painful near the joint.
Yeah. I mean, I was saying this to one of the Georges earlier about the difference between niggles and injuries, and then just a bit of bro science here. And this is not advice for anyone to use and then write down and be like, oh, what he said to crack on. But genuinely, sometimes if you crack on, it is okay, but don't, that's just my experience. And I've had niggles in the past and I've ignored them and I've carried on. When I was doing boxing and Muay Thai this year, my knuckles here hurt so much, man. And I just carried on going, and eventually that went away. The running that I'm doing, the amount of running that I'm doing at the moment, I've got you're able to see it's on the other side. On the other side of my knee here, it hurts. And I've just carried on. Because, I need to do this 50k. My Achilles tendinopathy that I had last year though, that was Parker-Gen injury, I was out again. That was an actual injury. I had to sometimes you have pains and aches. Sometimes I'll go for a run and I just have a random pain in one of my limbs and I'm like, what the hell is that? And then 1 mile later it just disappears. This isn't really good advice, to be honest. I'm not physio, so, but yeah. And to be fair, and it comes back down to strength training. If you strength train enough, genuinely think about it, right? 80-year-old Gertrude who's never strength trained in her life, okay? Versus, let's say Danny. Danny's probably the strongest one in here. He's benching fucking 120, 140 for reps, okay? Now, get a small car and send it at 30 miles an hour towards Gertrude or towards Danny, right? Danny's just gonna fucking stand up and be like, what are you doing, mate? Whereas Gertrude's gonna pass away. And that is that's basically strength training. Danny's strong as fuck. Gertrude is not strong as fuck. So
still don't fancy taking the car on.
Yeah, but I know it's such an extreme example, but it makes you think, because the strength training at the end of the day, that is going to make you more resilient to niggles and injuries, and then also it's also going to make you a better athlete, because when you're tired, let's say that you've gone on a really, really, really long run, or you've just carried a Bergen up a hill for 5 hours, if you have strong legs, strong calves, strong ankles, guess what? They can take the beating because you've trained them in the gym. Let me talk more. If anyone wants to jump in with any questions at any point.
I actually have a question for you, Joe.
Oh, yes.
Just as you were going on to strength, then I go on holiday in a week. Yeah. So I've literally been eating next to fuck all, to just try and lose weight.
Okay.
But my strength has just fallen off.
Okay.
Because I've not got a lot in my system, food-wise.
Yes.
I kind of know the answer, but I just kind of want a cheat on how to stop that happening. So because I'm not eating a lot at all, I'm picking the bar up and it's fucking heavy. I feel weak.
This is going to happen. So the calories going into you, okay, that's your fuel source, right? So you're basically just operating on less energy. You can still build muscle with less energy. It's just very uncomfortable and hard, right? More often than not, when people go for an extended period of calorie restriction, you're essentially starving the human body, and we are stuck in caveman era. Our bodies are in survival mode. So it kind of just goes, I'm not getting enough food. I'm gonna ditch some muscle mass along with the fat that I need to keep on going. So when you go through a fat loss phase, the aim of the game is to maintain the muscle mass that you have built in the bulk beforehand. Now, please do not start going on about dirty bulking and all that sort of stuff, because that's too far. That's too much of an extreme. Eating like packets of Oreos at midnight just to get the calories in. Don't do that. But I mean, like, the more energy you have, the easier it is to put on the muscle. So if you're putting in maintenance calories into you and you're going to the gym, then obviously you're going to be like a bit more comfortable because you've got the fuel to then expend in the gym and to build muscle. But when you're on calorie restriction, let's say you're doing 1 meal a day, 1,600 calories, like 150 grams of protein, you're basically maintaining, because it's hard to build with that little energy. Your body, in fact, actually what happens is, you see how I move around constantly and fidget and I'm like tapping my legs and all that sort of stuff? That's all part of NEAT that you guys know from the portal. That's the same as steps, basically. Your body will actually naturally do less of that when you have less calories going in, because you have less energy. Therefore, you need to counteract that and do more steps, which is insane. But yeah, does that answer your question, Danny?
Sort of, but I don't really. Is there a way to keep the strength up?
So the strength will come back when you eat more, and you can't do everything all at once. Like, you can't be like a superhuman athlete and then just survive on 1,600 calories, for example. It's very, very hard to do that. So your goal is to not go in the gym thinking, right, I want a PB, this, that, and the other, or, like, why don't I feel strong? I should be feeling strong. I'm going to do loads of this, loads of that. Your actual goal should be, I'm in a fat loss phase. I need to maintain and preserve the muscle that is on my body. Therefore, just literally going to failure, and then it doesn't matter really about the numbers. As long as you go to failure, your muscles go, oh shit, okay, actually, I do need to keep hold of that muscle because I couldn't do that exercise. Rather than, I'm in a fat loss phase, I'm also going to get stacked. You choose one or the other. We've only got a certain amount of resources, unless you take every single performance enhancing drug on the planet. Which is...
So go back on steroids, you're saying that?
No, please don't.
Okay, Roger. Please don't, man. Yeah. I'll ring him after this call.
Yeah, no, please don't. Does anyone else have any questions before I go on to my notes that I've got here? Anything? Alright, so I just want to share a story of, it was last week? Yeah, it was last week, right? So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I did a heavy gym session, a quick, long-ish run, a heavy gym session, and then Sunday morning was my long run of 20 miles. Okay, so that's a pretty heavy 4 days in a row, followed by literally 3 hours just like slamming concrete with my legs. So as you can imagine, I was pretty sore after that run. Did a load of housework afterwards. I had to like deep clean this whole house. So I was like moving around afterwards, keeping the blood flow in, so getting rid of all the lactic acid like we just talked about. And then I woke up on Monday morning and I genuinely felt fully recovered and good to go. My legs weren't aching at all, right? And I was like, wow, this is insane. Because obviously with you guys, right, I'm coaching you, but a coach is someone who's doing it with you, right? So I'm in the blueprint with you. I didn't just like create this blueprint and go, I'm just gonna sell this on the internet. Fuck these guys. It's like I've built this over years and years and years of experience, and then I'm following it, and then I'm trying to bend the rules a bit and make it better so I can give you guys a better thing, right? So I woke up and I was like, how the hell am I fully recovered from smashing my body for 4 days? Like, I literally feel like I could just go again. I didn't. I had quite a few rest days this week. And I just thought about all these guys like on the internet are like, oh yeah, ice bath this, cold plunge this, sauna that, and it's like it's literally it's just a load of bollocks, right? I didn't stretch, sorry Kenny, but I didn't do any of the foam rolling. I know I probably should have because like my legs have been aching, like other times than that. But what I'm trying to say is, it's like don't bother like thinking about using a lacrosse ball on the bottom of your feet, or foam rolling, or sauna, cold plunge, alternating it, timing it, wearing a sauna hat. Your mate in the gym says like athletic greens or like this, that, and the other. It's like fuck all that shit off, right? It's actually way simpler. It is get your 8 hours of sleep and try and get as much deep sleep and REM sleep as possible. And you guys have got the tools to do that because I've given them to you, so I don't need to go into them, right? If you literally lock down your sleep and sleep like a baby at night, like literally at like 10 p.m. or whatever your bedtime is, so you're literally like this, I can't think of anything else but to go to sleep, right? And then you wake up in the morning naturally, just before your alarm, that's gold standard, right? You have done, I'd say, 80% of your recovery. That is like 8% of it. So that's the Pareto principle, 80-20 rule. So wicked. So that's one thing, right? And we haven't had a fucking steam bath so far, do you know what I mean? And then the rest of it's just nutrition. If you've got enough protein in, bosh, done. It's that simple. So don't go out like getting sucked into the marketing of some like next generation vitamin Z stuff that's coming out on the internet. Like it's just a load of bollocks. Real recovery versus the trendy recovery. That is what I wrote down, isn't it? Right. And then the reason why we do this, okay, this is really valuable, okay. If you recover faster, okay, that means that you can train more, which means that you get fitter faster. If you think about it, right? We don't, like for you guys that are in the military or training for the military, okay, this is a lot of mistakes that I see people doing. Like lads, younger lads, they're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna sleep deprive myself to get used to it. No. You're just ruining your health before your health gets ruined on the course. That's not how we do it. Okay, what we do is, we look after our recovery because we want to cram in as much possible training as possible, right? Obviously not burning out, not going into overtraining, right? And then the way that we do that is using recovery and nutrition, right? It makes perfect sense, does it not? Or am I just mad? Does it make sense to everyone, right? If you wake up in the morning, good to go all the time, guess what? You can do more. You can just do more. And if you do more, you get fitter, which means that you recover faster. I literally preach zone 2 as much as I can, and strength as much as I can, right? Because they are literally the fundamentals of fit, along with the Russian GPP stuff, which is slightly more complex. But if you have a massive zone 2 aerobic base, you actually recover faster. If you have loads of strength, then your CNS takes less of a battering because you are strong, which means that then you can recover quicker because you don't need as much recovery, which then means that you could do more fizz, which means that you get faster, fitter, quicker, better, stronger, quicker. God damn. Fuck me. Right, and then anyone got any questions so far? No? Okay, the next thing is then. Okay, this is like other stuff like being a man, okay. Let's talk about physical and mental output, okay. So this isn't only just about physical fitness and sleeping. This is about like, obviously, you guys, genuinely, you wouldn't even believe like some of the conversations I have on the internet with people, and then they're just not real people. Like, you guys are real people because you're actually here. You actually took that step, okay? But it's not just about fizz. It's not just about like sleeping well and eating well. It is about like being a bloke and having like maximum operational output. So I was thinking about this. I was like, my God, I feel burnt out. Like, my God, like, and then I thought about what I was actually doing, and I was like, to be fair, at the moment, right, I could, let's say like, and this actually, this might, this will apply to a few of you, okay? You can be like at a high level of operational output, both physically and mentally, which I'll come on to in a little second, right? But obviously you can always do more. You can do more, right? In Kenny's example, he did more, he's sacrificing sleep, and then eventually it's like you experience a bit of burnout in the form of overtraining, and then he needs an extended period of rest from that. That wasn't sustainable. He now knows that he's learned from his mistake. Some people, like maybe Connor and Fabian, you might have felt a bit like this. Maybe you miss a few sessions and then you're like, oh, I need to do double to like make up for it. No, just go back into it at the same level. No more, no less. Just go back into it at the same level and then pick up. Because if you do more, then it opens up other things like getting injury and getting mentally burnt out. So then I was thinking about sustainability, and then your maximum operational output that you can have physically and mentally that is sustainable. So how much can you do in your life, right? And then how long for? So a good baseline I would say like, do as much as you can for a month, right? And then see if you could do that for a year. That's pretty sustainable. If you could maintain that for a year, then that's pretty sustainable. And then once you've swallowed that for a year, it's like biting off more than you can chew and then chewing it. And then if you could do that for a year, then you know you can do it for 2 years plus. Okay. So anyway, the physical and mental output. So it's like, physically, what are you training for? Okay. If you're training to be a powerlifter, then okay, that's your bag. You're doing like big lifts. So you need as much physical maximum operational output for powerlifting. If you're training for the military, likewise. Welsh 3000, Fabian's going on, okay, that's his like mission. Tom going on fucking selection, okay, that's your physical. It's like, how much of that can you do that is sustainable? Obviously, thinking about recovery, sleep, can you do that for a year? Okay, yes, perfect. And then it's law of progressive overload from there. Mental output then, for maybe not the lads that are training for the military, because that pretty much is your mental operational output. But like for me, for example, I was thinking, I'm literally learning Thai, okay? If anyone's seen the Thai language, it is literally a bunch of like alien hieroglyphics, like scribbles on the paper. It's like carnage. It's carnage, okay? And I'm doing 3 hours, up to 3 hours per week of that, okay? And it is mentally taxing. At the end of the hour, I'm like, I need a nap, right? And I'm training for a 50k ultra marathon, which is next week. And then what else? Oh, this business literally takes up so many hours. I don't even know how, because I don't even talk to you guys for hours. So how can I get to the end? But anyway, right? So, and then I was thinking, okay, I can do more, but that's not sustainable. And then I was thinking, there are so many people out on the planet, right? So many people that are just like, oh, I'll do this every single day. I'm gonna run every single day. I'll do this coursework every single day. I'm gonna do this thing, this project every single day. No, don't do that. You are not Alex Hormozy or Brian Johnson or those guys, okay? We are not at that level. Like, they are next level, right? And they have built up to that over time, and they've probably got burnt out before it. A better way to do it is like 3 days a week, but just consistently 3 days a week. And then you can sort of gauge how much can you put out. I hope this is making sense to everyone. And then, because if you are not at burnout and you are wanting to do it, and you want to do these like language lessons, or you want to go up on the hill to yomp around, or you do want to go to the gym, and it's only 3 times per week that you're doing any of this, or 4 times per week, then it's a lot more sustainable. And then that links back to the only thing that literally gets anyone anywhere on this entire planet, regardless if you're Gertrude 80 years old, okay, is consistency. That is the name of the game. If you can be the most consistent person in the room, you're the winner. Fuck talent, skills, like physical, like anything. It's consistency, right? And you guys know, like in your heads, whether you are at your maximum sustainable operational output mentally and physically, and you know whether you're being consistent or not. So I'm just like, it's like a mini call out, I guess. I just wanted to share that because, I don't want this coaching program to, people still on LinkedIn, they're like, oh, why is your physical fitness programs different from anyone else's? Like, fuck me, it was in the Marines, mate. But I hope that makes sense to everyone. My gosh. Right, I'm done talking. I've talked so much, come on. Yeah. Anyone got anything? Sweet as.
Waiting for you then, mate.
Well, I don't know. Does that make sense? Because I constantly think about this stuff, and like, you know, you're the only guys that will actually listen to me, maybe. Because my mum doesn't care. My missus doesn't care.
Yeah, you've gone on to me about it before, about how I give like 100% at work, but that swallows up all my time, so I'm only like giving 10% to my, you know, to my health.
Yeah.
So it's not like, I understand what you mean.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll go on about, oh, you need, you know, obviously you should be putting in 100% of your best effort at all times in life anyway. Like that's just being a bloke. Regardless of how you feel or whatever, like that's just being a man. Just crack on. Obviously you have to be sustainable. You have to like sometimes put yourself first. Like if you don't really feel like going to a social interaction, then, you know, it's like, you'll feel better if you go, you know, when you're there, but also you feel equally as good if you just sit on the sofa and do nothing for the next 4 hours. Like, I don't know. And then, like, okay, yeah, Danny, like you put your business like 100% first, and like we all get it. Like that is your lifeline. That's your family's lifeline. It's not just you. It's like you know, the other 4 dependents that you've got. So obviously that comes first, and then it's like my job to be like, you know, nudging you in the right direction.
Yeah, but that's what I meant. Like when I first met you, I was doing well at work, but I was fat as fuck. Yeah. Eating shit foods constantly because all I gave a fuck about was work. So that wasn't sustainable, was it?
No.
If I would have just carried on, I would have just exploded.
Yeah, so...
I wouldn't have fucking worked anymore anyway, because I wouldn't be able to get out of the fucking chair.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to balance it to be more sustainable.
That's the example of how, like, me running my business, for example, like, this is how I pay the bills, right? But I make sure that I eat healthy food, I crack fears, and I get like as much sleep as I possibly can, because then I want to work, right? Because I've got the willpower, right? You have less willpower if you have less sleep, and I've got the energy to attack like mentally draining tasks on here. So like, essentially, it's like people will say, "Oh, like, what's your priorities?" And it would be like, "Well, my business is my priority. Like this coaching business is my priority." But it's not actually, if you think about it. My priority is sleep. Like, but I can't just say that to a normal person. Like, what's your goals in life? Sleep as much as I can. Like, it doesn't make sense, does it? But essentially it is, like, because my number one priority every single day is actually sleep, if you think about it, because sleep underpins the whole human performance. Do you know what I mean? So that's why, like, me and Danny, literally all I talked about with Danny for like 6 months straight was like sleep, and then eventually Danny gets now enough sleep, and his life has changed. Oh, funny.
No, it's true though, because like before, I'd just work all day, go home on a night, have a shite pizza and chips, because I haven't had time for fuck all else.
Yeah.
Get about 5 hours sleep, and then get up and do it again.
Yeah.
But since I changed it, I get the better sleep actually get more done at work easier.
Yeah,
I feel that.
Yeah, that's good.
So really, yeah.
Yeah.
It is about being able to sustain it.
Yeah, I will do that. Like literally, with you lads, I will talk about sleep literally all the time, because there's almost like a stigma around it. Like, you know, if you sleep less, you're cool as fuck. Like what?
Oh yeah, I used to say that all the time. Like sleeping's cheating and shit like that. You know, or I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Yeah.
I used to say shit like that all the time, and I did actually think it was quite cool that I worked fucking 20 hours a day, then fucking ate some shit food and got up again 3 hours later to do it again, as if like you think it's really manly and cool. It's absolutely not. It's thick as fuck.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Because then if you come across a person who thinks it's cool to get 3 hours of sleep per night and eat shit food, like you'll outperform them in every single test that you can possibly think of, because they're just fucked basically. My flatmate, actually, he's not here, so I can call him out, but you know, he wouldn't mind me saying. He's Scottish, so he calls it bossing it. I don't know if anyone else has heard that term, bossing it. But it basically means like pulling an all-nighter. And he's just like, I like see him and I'm like, did you get enough sleep last night? And he's like, no, I bossed it. And it's like, that's not funny. Like you've damaged your DNA. Like you're gonna die early from cancers. That's not funny. I don't do that. And he does it like multiple times per week, and he was like working at night, and it's just like, just get a good night's sleep. Yeah, everything else will fall into place. Literally everything will fall into place. Like if you want a reduction in body fat percentage, it starts with sleep. If you want to gain muscle mass and strength, it starts with sleep. And so on and so forth. I'll keep on repeating myself. It does. I can't wait to go to sleep tonight. I'm going to get up at probably like, I don't know, 5:30, 6 in the morning to go for this like stupid run. And I don't know if anyone else in this group can get a hold of melatonin, but it is an excellent tool to use for sleep, right? So it's not to be used every single night, but if you need to get up early for whatever reason that might be, right? Random, like let's say that you're getting up at 6 a.m. every single day, okay, but one day you need to get up at 4 a.m. So you need to go to sleep 2 hours earlier. Okay, it's impossible to go to sleep 2 hours earlier because your body's in the circadian rhythm, okay, as an example. So what you can do is take melatonin half an hour before the 2 hours you need to go to sleep. Then you go to sleep, and then you can still get your 8 hours in. Does that make sense? So I know if you're in the UK, you can't just go and buy melatonin from the shop like you can in Thailand, but you can go to the doctor and be like, oh, I'm just like not really able to get to sleep. Like, can I have some melatonin?
Night nurse works for me.
Or night nurse, yeah, just down a litre of night nurse before you go to sleep. Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Because obviously, if you're boozing or whatnot and then you fall asleep, you're not actually sleeping, you're pretty much just passed out and like, you're not getting any REM sleep whatsoever. Is that not the same as, because I thought melatonin was the exact same, whereas you're not actually getting any REM, it's just almost synthesized sleep, no?
No. So the reason why alcohol keeps your body awake is because your body is unable to store the alcohol, so it has to process it. So if you think about it, like you go into a light sleep, you can't go into deep or REM sleep because your body's biological systems, like your liver, has to go, fucking hell, like I've got a job to do tonight. So it keeps your body awake and your brain awake, right? And it goes, all right, so I've got to work throughout the night to get rid of all this alcohol. That's why, you know, when you wake up in the morning, it's junk sleep, you know, it's not being very restorative. You don't have the willpower, you've got the beer monkeys, you want to eat shit food, you're sleep deprived, etc., etc. Melatonin, on the other hand, is, okay, in the evening, the sun has gone down, okay? You close all the curtains, turn off all the lights, right? There's no blue light, right? Your body then starts producing melatonin. I've forgotten the gland it comes from. I think it comes from in your head. Your body releases the hormone melatonin naturally as the sun sets and then going into the evening, okay? And then as they peak, right, you're asleep, they peak, and then you are now going through the sleep cycles, light, deep REM, right? And then in the early hours in the morning, melatonin comes down, cortisol goes up. And then you wake up and then it's cortisol and then fucking caffeine time, right? All you're doing is, in the evening, okay, let's say that you have to sleep a couple hours earlier, in the evening, your body's started producing melatonin, okay, the graph is going up, it is this way around, yeah, and then you just like slam in 9 milligrams of melatonin, and it goes, oh, okay, fucking hell, right, it's time to go to sleep now. And then throughout the night, it will then peak, obviously, and then early hours of the morning, it will come down. The only problem is like the reason why your body shuts down natural testosterone production when you're taking testosterone, that's the same with melatonin. Your body goes, oh, I'm now getting this exogenously, which means from externally, I don't need to produce it anymore. Same with testosterone. If you start taking testosterone, your balls go, oh, I don't need to fucking, I've not got no job now, I'm not going to do it. That's the only trouble with melatonin. So if you take it every single night, in fact, on that Gaza deployment, that Operation Underhill last year, Tom, I was taking melatonin every single night without realising
this. You sleep about 10 hours a day.
Yeah, but I couldn't go to sleep like during the day. So and then fucking La Chapelle gave me like 1 million fucking of the strongest tablets of melatonin. I was taking it every day, and then like people were like, you shouldn't take that every day, and I was like, okay, yeah. But I used that sparingly, and sometimes in the military, right, you would fucking go on a deployment at like 1 a.m, like you'd have to leave. So if your normal bedtime is at 11, you've got 2 hours sleep, brilliant, okay. I knew that I was driving to Heathrow at 1 o'clock in the morning, so, and the day before you usually have off. So I would slam a load of melatonin at like 2 p.m, and I would go to sleep for 8 hours, and then wake up at 10 p.m, and I would be good to G. I'd have a coffee and then be on the road, I'd be buzzing and everyone else is like, fucked. Again, extreme example, I love being extreme, but no, it's fine, because it's essentially natural. It's just like it's natural.
Yeah, you're only speeding up a natural process, aren't you? Not actually.
The warning is don't rely on it. Don't rely on the things that help you fall asleep, right? And do not use alcohol to help you go to sleep and help you de-stress. It does the complete opposite. But melatonin, yeah, I would consider that safe. Again, I'm not actually allowed to give this advice as a PT, which is really, really annoying. But yeah, as a friend, right? Let me just like release myself from any liabilities. But yeah, try and get hold of something when you go abroad, anywhere, any of the countries that have it, and then just have like a box next to your bed. If you can't go to sleep for whatever reason, like take a few, but I'd limit it to like a couple of times a month, maybe. Like use it sparingly, not something to rely on. But it can be a really good tool to use, and it doesn't, it doesn't fuck up your sleep.
Sweet.
Sweet as. Anyone got any other questions? We could do like a little round robin of like any wins or weaknesses that people are working on. Should we just like start with weaknesses that we're working on? Maybe I can go first. I'm shit at getting steps in. I'm so bad at it. I literally leave it until the last minute, and I'll go for a walk before bed. And I just walk outside my house for like half an hour on my phone. That is horrendous. I'm so bad at it. I just can't be bothered. Anyway, I'm done. Next person.
Smoking. I'm smoking again.
Mate, not good.
I know. Wine again.
Yeah, not good, man.
It is a bad weakness for me.
Yeah.
Stress.
It will make you more stressed though, smoking. It will do. In the long term.
It does when I'm in the garden having a fag instead of in the house with 3 screaming kids.
Fair one. Yeah, fair one. Who wants to go next?
Mate, just trying to stop myself from going to the gym, mate, because yesterday I did do a bit of a naughty. I went for a bit of a light session on like upper body, and then went for a 3-mile run after, and I thought, fuck me, I feel really good. And to be fair, I actually did sleep a lot better last night, like doing a double session again. I'm not going to do it every week, don't get me wrong, but I was like, I should have done it better, but I was like sort of counteracting myself. If I do it, I'm going to put myself back in the fucking oven, and I thought, I can't fucking risk it, but I did risk it, so.
Yeah. As long as you are literally getting the holy fucking trifecta of sleep, good food, hydration, like all the stuff that you know, just maximise that recovery. I think you'd be okay. I do think you'd be okay. Imagine that being a weakness. I double tapped fizz yesterday.
It's my weakness at the minute. I can't just do one session, mate. Like, I love to double tap the sessions.
Yeah.
That was my weakness.
Yeah. No, that's good, mate. Yeah, just don't overdo it. Just don't overdo it. You got to think like it. Like I told you when we first had the conversation with each other, it's like an injury. Sometimes you have like injuries that you can't see.
Yeah.
So like you could count that as like a full body like injury. You just have to like ease back into it, build up really really slowly, like slower than you probably think. You won't lose any fitness, honestly. But anyway, Louis, you're next.
Maybe waking up in the morning. So I'm like waking up in the morning, just rolling out of bed.
Okay.
I'll put it off, just go back to sleep.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I mean, we do love extra sleep, yeah, but
Yeah.
The circadian rhythm is that's like the key for good sleep is like regularity.
Yeah. Probably need a bit more honestly.
What time do you get up in the morning for work? Latest?
Oh, like 6 in the morning for work.
Yeah, so like I wouldn't get up after 7 a.m. at the weekends and day offs and stuff. So like that's like an extra hour for you. Because then if you oversleep, then you'll tend to then fall asleep later, and then it's like it's fine on a Sunday, but then when it rolls around to Monday, suddenly you can have like 6 hours sleep instead, as an example.
Yeah.
Go on then, Tom. Have you got it? Or are you?
Yeah, I obviously just got back from 6 months away, so I've been boozing a lot recently. But that obviously chill out to normal in the year. But yeah, a few beers away.
Yeah, mate. It's one of those things where, like, the younger you are, honestly, like, the more that you can just bounce back from these things. Like, you can put your body through like hell, and like, it's fine. I remember.
Yeah.
With you, like you're training for special forces selection, okay? Like if you booze now, nothing really is gonna happen. It's like later on, it's like but you probably won't be like. Imagine if you were going on selection in January, you wouldn't be boozing the whole of Christmas Eve, would you?
No.
So it's fine. You can use it to like celebrate goals. You can use it as a bit of emotional, mental rest to let off a bit of steam later on. Because I remember there was a guy called Gibbo who batched, and I was like in this all or nothing mentality when I was thinking about doing it myself, and he was like having this mega structured training, and I saw that he went out in Plymouth and just got absolutely wasted until like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, are you not training for selection? And he was like, I'm hitting my goals, and I just wanted to let off a bit of steam. Because the rest of the time he was like autistically locked in. Like, I've never seen someone more locked in than that actually. So you can like use it as a tool. So yeah, it can be a weakness, but you can obviously, yeah. Connor?
Weaknesses. Sleep. I can't. Well, shit. Sorry. Wait. I go to bed, but I can't sleep. So, but that's probably the losses. And again, like Louis, getting up when I should be getting up but not getting up because of having lack of sleep. And the only win I've had is consistency on check-ins and nutrition this week.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Just you've got to remember. So like, the number one thing that I've heard of and it's not just me. It's not me saying this. It is the experts, like the leading experts that pave the way for sleep science. They all say the same thing. Like number one, regularity. It's like number one, regularity. That's like they all say that. That's not me saying that. That's like, and then I then built that into my life, and I just ditched the lie-ins, and I ditched like staying in. Like, okay, sometimes once in a blue moon, you'll just like randomly have like a 12 or 13 hour core sleep, and you'll wake up like, what the hell is my name? Okay, you might just need an extra recovery that day. But honestly, well, you should be striving 100% of the time for that regularity, like clockwork in the evening, like. You turn off all the screens. Like there is no TV. Like there is no like lights on in the house and eating and all that sort of stuff. And then like your night routine starts in the morning. Like the moment that you wake up, it's like looking at the sun, like getting as much sunlight as possible. Because then your body is like, whoa, the 16 hours starts now. The clock starts ticking now. That's what I say to you lads in the UK. If you're getting up early and it's still dark, get a 10,000 lux sad lamp. Get one. And stare into that for like 5 minutes in the morning when you're brushing your teeth. It will reset your circadian rhythm, right? And then don't have these like little bits of like, lions here and there. Okay, yeah, if you're like double tapping fizz and you're like an absolute athlete and you need the naps in the afternoon, then yeah, okay, have like a little nap in the afternoon, but that shouldn't disrupt your core sleep. If you're napping for like 4 hours in the afternoon and that's disrupting your core sleep in the evening of 8 hours, then nap a little bit less. I mean, obviously we can bend the rules here. Like Tom, you remember we were smashing the fizz on Op Pundit last year. Oh my god, I've never done that much fizz in my entire life, and it was like sleep 8 hours and then try and get 4 hours sleep during the day because we were doing that much fizz. We needed the extra sleep, and Muay Thai fighters here do it right. Monday to Saturday, for 2 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the evening, they absolutely frag themselves every single day, Monday to Saturday, and then they have Sunday off. They have morning training, they go back to wherever they're staying, and they sleep until the training again, and then they sleep until the next training. All they do is sleep, because they need that recovery. But yeah, regularity. That was like a long-winded way of saying regularity. Fabian, I think you're the only one we haven't done.
Yeah, I would say sleep as well. I mean, I haven't touched like 7 hours this week, and it was like my main goal, so it's quite depressing. And the other thing I've tried, like, all my power to get enough sleep, like I've messaged you, but especially with like the tight times I have in the evening, it does get quite difficult. But yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult. You need basically a lifestyle change in order to get rid of a commute in order for you to have more time, which is happening early next year, isn't it? When you get used to your job. See, this is stuff like I would like the sort of life coaching. I've said this to George earlier today. I was like, you need to like ditch a job so you have more time to sleep, because like life is about freedom and happiness, and if you have no time, there's no point, is there? Like, I don't know, but we will have our like opinions about that. But yeah,
like I rent a flat in Leeds now, so I have an extra 3 hours a day.
Yeah, if you can ditch.
Don't travel home anymore. I stay in Leeds Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
So I only travel on a Monday morning and travel home on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah. See, if you
That's
can.
like 15 hours a week I've got back.
Yeah. So you're like, Danny's ditched his commute there, so he's got 15 hours extra to, well, you know, some of those 15 hours you can do what man loves doing best, and that is absolutely nothing at all. You know, we're all striving to do absolutely nothing at the end of the day, aren't we? To get the job done so we can do nothing. But yeah, see if you just need to like play around with your life. Sometimes it takes years, but it's important. Like, one of the reasons why I left the military actually is to look after my own health. I want to live to 100 years old. One of the reasons why I didn't join the police is because I was like, I just don't want to work at night because it's just shit. I don't want to, like, it's just shit being sleep deprived. It's like, it's actually the reason why I didn't join the police is because they work at night. Like, it's just like little things like that. But then that's down to you. Like, I can help you make a decision, but like, that is like big life changes, isn't it? Like changing your job to get more sleep because some random bloke on the internet told you to. Yeah, but sleep. So your immune system is actually pretty low, Fabian. I've noticed. Like, since we've been working together, it's like, oh, I might be a little bit sicky, or I've got a little bit of a cold, and it's like, if you've got 6 hours, if you're getting 6 hours of sleep, yeah, okay, your immune system will be less of that than someone who has 8 hours sleep. The science, that's not me talking. That's the science. 100%.
Yeah, and my HIV's been really low this week as well, which we said about on that call.
Yeah, which is an indication of stress. Guys, honestly, right, there will be a next time that we all get super drunk. That's just life, okay? Have a look at your heart rate variability, like before and after. Like, try and get your heart rate variability as high as possible. Okay, mine's sat around like high 70s, like low 80s or whatever, right? If I go and get absolutely blackout drunk, it will drop to like 30. It'll be like less than 50. It'll be like a 60 or 70% decrease in one night. Okay, and then also my resting heart rate will go from 44 to 60. That is crazy if you think about it, right? If you're mega ill as well, if you're really,
what
really
is
ill,
everybody's in here?
HIV.
Yeah.
I'm averaging about 115, mate.
yeah, that's crazy.
115.
Yeah, I'm on 120.
I didn't even think it went above 100.
Yeah, it does. Tom's is really high as well. Tom, what's yours?
Yeah. Mine's like 120, 130. Mine drops to about 60 when I booze, so it's just
I've got to about 40, 45 if I get pissed and wrecked, yeah, it drops bad.
Mine goes to about 40, 45 when I'm really looking after myself. Yeah, I'm joking, that's fucking strange.
Well, I'm currently at 40, so...
I'm not fucking hell. If I go on the piss, mine goes down to about 19.
Fuck hell.
Fuck.
I'm nearly dead.
Yeah.
Fuck me. I don't know what the I don't know if it varies between people. Because like
I hope so.
I think it must do, because like I'd say that me, Tom and Kenny would like, if we went for a run, we'd be like, you know, relatively quick and relatively fit individuals like together, but my heart rate variability is considerably lower than those two.
Well, you're definitely faster than me, but it's probably just because I'm like a decade younger than you.
Yeah, but
That's
Kenny's older than me, so why is Kenny's
Oh yeah, you can't tell.
So I don't know. It's interesting. Maybe that's something for me to take away. Is like, why does it vary so much between people? I'll go and research that actually. Sweet, thanks for giving me some work.
So what's the key to getting it up for me then?
Quitting smoking. I'd quit smoking. That's number one.
Is that probably the worst thing?
Well, I wouldn't say it's probably the worst thing. I'd say that I'd say that because of the nature of your job, like you are just inherently stressed. Now, stress isn't necessarily like the worst thing in the world. Sometimes, like, you know, it's just a good motivator, isn't it? Right? You are a manager of people, and sometimes those people are idiots, right? So you're constantly thinking about what they're doing. You know, so your heart rate variability will be affected by stress and smoking, but also your cardiovascular system, right? If you have a very fit and efficient cardiovascular system, then you've just got a healthy heart and lungs. So for you, it would just be like doing more cardio, and then eventually over time, your resting heart rate will go down, which in turn will make your heart rate variability increase. So more swimming, Danny.
More swimming.
More swimming, less smoking.
Yeah.
But your heart rate variability and your stress has improved since you got more sleep. Because I've looked at your.
Oh yeah, it improved quite a lot. But then the last month, you know, the December month at work where I just disappeared, it's gone back down again.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sleep, nutrition as well. There's loads of stuff that feed into it. It's annoying. It's not like, oh, what's the number one thing that I can do? Sometimes it's like, how many 1% can I get out of life to then get the 50%? It's like the daily habits form that I get you guys to do. They're all like little 1%. It's like all these little things that like, oh, that one little thing there doesn't matter. Oh, that one little thing there doesn't matter. But if you do that 100 times, that's 100%, isn't it? If you think about it. If you fuck off most of the little things that matter, then all of a sudden you've got a large percentage that you're not doing. So it's always better to be like, oh, I'll do this little thing. And then that breaks it down into smaller pieces. So if you're struggling to do everything all at once, then you can focus on one thing, and then you're like, right, okay, I've done that one thing. I'm going to do the next thing. And then you do the next thing. Danny, we did that actually. Danny was struggling. Danny was like, oh no, I don't want to change everything. And I was like, oh, okay. And then it was like, okay, we'll just do the sleep then. And then he's mastered the sleep. And then I was like, okay, let's do the nutrition thing. And then you were like, oh, okay, sweet, I've done the nutrition thing. And then next it will be like, well, let's do more cardio, structured. Because you do the rest of it on autopilot. Does that make sense? It's like, sometimes you can break it down. But then it does take time to do these things. Like, I've been practicing this blueprint my entire life. So obviously, like, I'm going to find it easier to do than everyone else. Plus, I don't have a wife and kids. That helps. And living in Thailand. So maybe I've got an advantage. But does that make sense? Like, if you break it down and then do the consistency. But I'll always bring it back to sleep. Just get more sleep, please, lads. Get more sleep. Sleep makes your life so much better in every single way. Right. Has anyone else got anything else to say?